welcome back. What we are going to go over next is we are going to talk about measures of center. So you should have just reviewed the definitions for mean, median, mode, and range. We're going to take a look at how to calculate these data values when you're given a data set. So let's take a look here. A student earned the following scores on 8 tests in math class. Calculate the mean, median, mode, and range. So when you are calculating these measures of center, you want to start by ordering your numbers from least to greatest. So I've done that here just to save a little bit of time. So I put my numbers from my smallest number up to my largest number. Now, to find the mean, remember the mean is the average of the data. To find the average, you want to take all the data values, add them together, and divide by how many there are. So here, if you look, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 data values. So to find the average, I'm going to add them all up. Okay, so you can use a calculator here. I'm going to take 83 plus 86 plus 91 plus 92 plus 94 plus 99, and I have 99 twice, so I want to make sure I type that in 2 times, and then 100. So when I add them together, I get a sum of 744. So then I'm going to take that sum of 744 and I'm going to divide by how many data values there were, which was 8. Divide it by 8. So here's my mean. So I get a mean of 93. So go ahead and record that on your note taker or on your separate sheet of paper. So remember, your symbol for mean, and this is really helpful so that you don't always have to write out mean, and we're going to use this when we take a look at the graphing calculator. Your symbol for mean is an X bar. So it's just simply an X with a line over it, and this means the mean or the average. So my mean here is 93. For my median, I am looking for my middle number when the numbers are ordered from least to greatest. So they have to be in order from least to greatest. So here, to find my middle numbers, I have 8 data values. So the 2 that are in the middle are going to be 92 and 94. So these 2 are in the middle because I have 3 data values that are smaller than them and 3 data values that are larger than them. So because I have 2 numbers that are in the middle, to find the actual median, I'm going to find the average of these 2 numbers. So I'm going to take 92 plus 94. I'm going to divide it by 2. So remember, to find the average, you add them up, divide by how many there are. So we're just looking at 2 data values. So my average here is going to be 93. And that makes sense too, because if you think about the number that's right between 92 and 94, it's going to be 93. So that's your median. Now, sometimes if you have a data set that has an odd number of data values, you won't have to do this because you'll have one number that's in the center. And in the past, you guys may have talked about to find the middle number, you can cross off one data value from the left, one from the right, one from the left, one from the right, one from the left, one from the right, until you meet in the middle. So that's another technique that you can use. Okay, for our mode's going to be the data value that occurs most often. So I'm looking for data values that are repeated. So in this data set, the only data value that appears twice is 99. Now, sometimes you can have no mode. So if there aren't any data values that are repeated, then you would just say you have no mode. If there's more than one data value that's repeated, like if it was 99, and I had 100 and then another 100, then it's okay to have 2 modes. You can have 3 modes. So you just want to always look to see what occurs most often. And then last but not least, the range. The range is going to be found by taking the largest number, which in our case is 100, so your maximum number, your largest number, minus your smallest number or your minimum. So that will give us a range of 17. All right, let's take a look at another example here. So an amusement park hires students for the summer. The students' hourly wages are shown in the table. What if the park hires another student at an hourly wage of $8.45? How does this addition affect the mean, median, and mode? Explain. Okay, so to save us a little bit of time here, I started by putting these numbers in order from least to greatest, and I found the original mean, median, and mode. To find these, you would just do the same thing that we did above. The mean is found by adding up all the data values, dividing by how many there are. The median is your middle number, and the mode is the one that occurs most often. Now, these are our mean, median, and mode from our original data. So we want to take a look at what's going to happen when we add in a new data value. So the new data value that we're going to add in is $8.45. Now you can do this in a couple ways. You can simply take this data value, add it in, and recalculate the mean, median, and mode. That would be perfectly fine. Okay. If you do that, let's start with the mode. So if I put in 845, my original mode was 825 because 825 appeared twice. If I put in another data value of 845, now I'm going to go from having one mode to two modes. Because now 825 is not the only number that repeats. 845 also repeats. So by adding in that data value, I'm actually now going to have two modes. Now for your mean and your median, like I said, you can certainly just add in that new data value and recalculate the mean and the median. That is perfectly okay. I'm going to show you a little trick though. So for our original mean, see how our original mean was $9.65? If I add in a new data value, you want to pay attention to whether the new data value is larger than or smaller than the original mean. So my original mean was 965. My new data value is 845. So because my new data value is less than the original mean, my new mean is going to go down. Okay, so you'd want to write this. The mean will decrease. Now, they didn't ask us, what is the new mean? They just asked us to explain what's going to happen. So for the mean's going to decrease. Now, for my modes, I went from one mode to having two modes. Okay, and then for the mean, so far I know the mean will decrease. All right, let's look at our median. So same thing, and the little trick is, if you look at your original median, so my original median was $8.75. The new data value that I am adding in is less than that original median. So because it's less than the original median, it's going to decrease that original median. So the median will also decrease. Now, it goes the other way too. So if my new data value had been, I don't know, let's say $10, because if I added in a new data value of $10, that new data value would have been bigger than the mean and bigger than the median, so they both would have increased in that scenario. So if the new data value is larger than the original mean, it'll increase that mean. If the new data value is smaller than the original mean, then it's going to decrease that original mean. Okay, same thing goes for the median. If that new data value is larger than the original median, it's going to increase the median. If that new data value is smaller than the original median, then it's going to decrease that median. Okay, so that's a little trick that you can use to help you figure out how that mean and median are going to change. Like I said, you could always just take the data value, put it in with the original numbers, and recalculate it, but this might save you a little bit of work.